Well, hello everyone, Tryhard Casual here, and in this guide we'll be talking about everyone's favorite skill, runecrafting. For anyone that wants to jump around, I'll leave some timestamps on screen for you right now. For everyone else, sit tight and get ready to learn everything you need to know about crafting blood and soul runes. Something I wanted to get right out of the way is an explanation for combining blood and soul runes into one guide. The answer is that it simply makes sense to put them together. They're both basically done in the same spot, but with slightly different routes to take and level requirements to craft. I also wanted to quickly mention that crafting blood runes and soul runes is a little different than crafting your typical rune. You will not need to bring any rune essence or essence pouches for crafting these. Let's start off with the requirements you need to even have the option to craft these runes. The actual level requirement to craft these runes are 77 and 90 respectively. Also, level 73 agility is required to use an agility shortcut found while going to the rune crafting altars. Utilizing this shortcut will be absolutely imperative to making your runs anywhere near efficient. On top of that, you'll need to have 100% favor with the Arceus house, any level pickaxe, a chisel, and a full set of graceful gear. Being on the Arceus spellbook is also recommended, but I'll explain why a little bit later. And very quickly, the medium Karen and Kebos Diary nets you a very slight bonus to mining the dense essence blocks that are needed for runecrafting. They give you a 5% chance to get 2 essences from one mining action. You can also get 10% more blood runes when crafting by completing the Elite Diary, but most people won't have that completed and it only increases your profit, not experience. The area for crafting blood and soul runes is located on the northern end of Karen. The easiest way to get there is to use the home teleport on the Arceus spellbook, but if that isn't available to you for some reason, then you can use a Karen teleport and run north, you can use the Zarek Talisman Inferno teleport and run east, or you can use the Games Necklace Wintertod teleport and run south. Using the Fairy Ring teleport isn't recommended because having a staff will take an extra inventory space away. That is, unless you're a boss and have the Lumbridge Elite Diary completed so that you can use Fairy Rings without a staff. The place we actually begin is over by the 2 dense runestone blocks. We'll be mining dense essence blocks from these stones to use for crafting our runes. I personally prefer to zoom out as much as possible in the RuneScape client because it makes running these essences to the altar just a little bit easier later on. The easiest way to explain crafting blood and soul runes is to divide the process into 2 halves. First, filling your inventory, and second, running to your preferred altar. As I said earlier, we're starting off at the dense runestones in this area and mining them for dense essence blocks. I did want to take a minute and talk about a few random pieces of information that are useful to know while you're over here. First off, when you're mining from these blocks, they have a chance to become depleted whenever you extract an essence block from them. Simply by walking to the opposite runestone is all you need to do. It is impossible for both of them to be depleted at the same time. The higher your mining level is, the lower the chance for a runestone to be depleted when being mined from. Besides using a dragon pickaxe to spec with, having any level pickaxe will work completely the same. I used a rune pickaxe the entire time and it was just fine. Once you have mined your full inventory of dense essence blocks, you will begin your journey over to the Dark Altar, which is slightly northwest of your current mining spot. When you click on the Dark Altar, all of your dense essence blocks will be converted into dark essence blocks. What you're going to want to do is make your way back to the dense runestones to mine at, but while you're running back you can also use your chisel on the dark essence blocks to turn them into dark essence fragments that stack in your inventory. When you have chiseled down all of your dark essence blocks, you can begin the cycle again of mining a full inventory, running over to the Dark Altar, and then finally, making your way over to your preferred runecrafting altar. This begins the second half of crafting our runes. Starting from the Dark Altar, we basically want to run down an S-shaped path south to the Blood Rune altar. It may seem like a far distance, but you can actually reach the altar with only a handful of clicks on the map. You're able to click on the southern path from the Dark Altar, and that one click will take you almost the whole way there. 1 or 2 more clicks down the road will take you right to the Blood Altar, where you'll turn your fragments into blood runes, chisel your blocks into more fragments, and then turn those into blood runes as well. When you have converted all of your fragments into blood runes, you can make your way over to the agility shortcut a few steps away, and take it right back down to the mine. That will complete 1 full run of blood runes. Starting from the Dark Altar, all you have to do is run east for a while and run down the curved path to reach the Soul Rune altar. Just as with blood runes, you want to click on the altar to craft your fragments into soul runes, chisel your essence blocks into more fragments, and then click on the altar again to convert all of those into soul runes as well. To get back to the mine, all you have to do is take the same path backwards but branch off at the agility shortcut that is on the way back. From there, hop over one more rock and you'll find yourself back at the mine to begin your next cycle. As I stated earlier, 73 agility is the minimal level for crafting these runes. I personally had 77 agility when I was crafting my runes, but I was not able to keep my run energy on the whole time without it completely draining. I have a few tips on how to conserve run energy if you run into the same problem as well. When getting inventories of essence blocks, I would leave my run off because the distance really wasn't all that far in between the runestones and I felt like it was a good place to recharge some energy at. I would also generally leave my run off after crafting a load of runes, as a necessity, or I would run out later at a random part of the run. Truthfully, you don't even need to do this. I just like to have my route set in a complete routine so that I know it's going to be the same every single time. This is also where being on the Arceus spellbook comes in handy. Every 30 minutes you can use the home teleport, which will put you almost directly next to the Dark Altar when you have a full inventory of essence blocks to convert. It's faster than running there and it saves run energy on top of that. Obviously, having full graceful is also immensely helpful here, but a common misconception that people have is that the less you weigh, the less your run energy will deplete. The fact is, as long as you're below 0 kg on your inventory screen, you will be at the maximum energy retention for your character. Having negative 5 kg is the same as being negative 50 kg. Feel free to fashionscape with whatever you want as long as it's under 0. One final thing I haven't talked about yet is experience rates and potential profit. According to the wiki, blood runes are around 37k XP per hour, and soul runes are around 45k XP per hour. I found that my XP rates crafting these runes were almost on par with that. Your profit per hour will be based on current market prices for the runes, but blood runes have basically always been worth twice as much as soul runes. If you care about profit, craft blood runes. If you care about XP, craft soul runes, provided you have the appropriate level to make that decision. In the end, crafting either blood or soul runes is a decently AFK method of training your rune crafting skill. Sure, there are other methods that you can be doing for more XP or better profit, but rune crafting is a slow grind. I found it better to not burn myself out and just accept that it was going to take a while, regardless of how I was going to train it. So that wraps up the guide. I hope you guys learned a little something and are now fully prepared to start crafting some runes of your own. If you have any burning questions about rune crafting, or RuneScape in general, feel free to ask me. My channel is forever small, but that makes it very easy to reply to anyone that has a question. That's it for now though. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.